Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The Xbox conference is finally over. It felt like it dragged on after a while. Might be because of what they bloody started with more than anything else. They first started off with the Halo 5 stuff. Although the interesting thing with all the Halo 5 stuff that they had was that Master Chief was conspicuously absent for pretty much most of it, which is quite strange. They're concentrating on Locke, which is fascinating. And the gameplay stuff that they had was you playing as Locke. And they had the whole thing about 4 players coming in and co-op, and that sort of compounded with the news that local co-op it's online co-op, and with online co-op you have to have Xbox Live Gold. So, yay, I suppose. The Halo 5 stuff seemed very pre-scripted, very pre-rendered, it didn't look like the game. It didn't look like an actual game. It's this sort of thing. It felt pre-rendered. It really did just feel pre-rendered, and I think partly because of that, although, like I said, I think the more interesting thing is the fact that Master Chief is conspicuously absent. It was in the screenshots and all the other different stuff, but not in the gameplay stuff, which was interesting, because they had all the other elements as well. The Covenant, the guns, the precursors? No, the pre-thing from Fallout, from Halo 4. I'll get into Fallout 4 in a minute. They showed off a new game from Kenji Ifune. Quite glad Kenji Ifune is actually getting a lot of work now. It's quite good. But it's him combined with Armature Studios. It's loads of A's. For a game called Recore. And everyone started going, oh, look, it's dogs. Oh, it's dogs. Which was, Bethesda made a whole thing of having dogs. And last year at Xbox, they had a whole thing about having dogs, but it was with COD instead. So, at least I think it was last year. After a while, all of these just merged together into one amorphous. This was the point when all hell broke loose. You probably wouldn't know about this. All hell seriously broke loose, and it was because they announced that the Xbox One will now, from today, or from an update of close to today, will be backwards compatible. It's just okay. You just turned it on then, I suppose. It's certainly... People like Jim Sterling pointed out that why wasn't this when the console was released? They made a huge deal about when the console was released, saying, we don't need to have backwards compatibility, the console can stand up on its own. Why the hell are you making a big show and dance about turning it on now then? Why are you making a big show of it now when you... Oh, it's not even hypocritical bastards. You're not even being hypocritical. You're just being fucking U-turning. You fucking U-turning asshole. Why wasn't the Xbox One compatible when it came out? You, Xbox, said you didn't need it, and now you're making a big show about it is. And I bet the only reason, really bet the only reason why you're doing it is because PlayStation isn't. And probably won't, although they might. They have PlayStation Now. Fuck knows, their system is more complicated. The Xbox One backwards compatibility is, you have disc, you put in disc, you play disc. Ta-da! You get game for free, and you can play the game if you have it. You can play it. Which is the reason why I'm more just left just going, why the fuck didn't they do this now when the thing came out? It's just fucking hell, you spin-turny bastard. I want to give them praise. I really, really want to give them praise, because being backwards compatible, there is no point in a console that isn't backwards compatible. Because the biggest advantage of a console is being backwards compatible. Being able to have other stuff, but they're not. And so it's the fact that they made such a huge deal about it not being backwards compatible and saying, oh yes, we can stand up on our own even though it's not, and then making a big show that it is. You fuck. Then Mr. Todd Howard came out. Todd Howard of Bethesda. To show up, fail Fallout 4 all over again. Basically, pretty much showed the exact same thing over and over again. They showed the same cutscene with the same character. They showed off the Pip-Boy. Well, not as they showed off, but they said, look, we have Pip-Boy. I made real one and an app you can stick in, which is connected to the game. It was like, okay. Yeah, it was basically... I was expecting Todd Howard to come out and say, oh, look at all this exclusive DLC that we have with Xbox. Thankfully, they didn't do that. The entire point of I don't like multi-platform games that have exclusive content. If you're exclusive, like Halo is, then sod it, be as exclusive as you can be. Like, have exclusive console stuff and exclusive PC stuff. Be as exclusive as you want to be because you're already an exclusive. But multi-platform stuff, it's stupid. One big thing that Todd Howard ended up saying was that because of the architecture and the stuff that they're doing with the Windows 10 and blah 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 blah, mods can now be transferred from PC through some system, and you can have the mods on your console, and you can play mods of Fallout 4 on your console. That was just... It's the biggest, one of the hardest things with this Xbox conference is the fact that it's almost schizophrenic. There are times you're going, oh my god, and then there's other times you're just going, and you're just not bothering. It's like the whole Fallout thing. It's just sort of like the whole Fallout thing where you go, oh yeah, it's doing the whole Todd Howard thing. Oh look, we now actually have footage of you in the power armor. Oh, it's only about a minute long, a little bit more gameplay stuff, but it's pretty much what we saw yesterday, all over again, considering they spent ages onto it, so it's not that much. And then suddenly going, oh yeah, by the way, mods transferable from PC to console. It's like, fuck me. And then EA came along, because this is one thing which I have to say, because it is a thing with a timer. EA Access, as you know, is EA's thing where you pay for access to the little vault of games. I don't see the point. Games as services are alright. It's only if you play pretty much everything by one publisher, because otherwise you're going to be paying everyone by the end of it. It's mainly the reason why I don't like this system. I don't mind it being there, just don't take away the actual buying of just singular games by themselves once. I like just buying a game rather than paying a subscription to play a game. So EA Access is now expanding with Titanfall going on to it, and Dragon Age Inquisition going on soon after. So those two games are now part of the EA Access vault, as it was said. And this is the bit with the timer. EA Access is now available for anyone on the Xbox One who has an Xbox Live Gold membership. So if you have Xbox Live Gold, from today, you have 1 free week of EA Access. So you have access to all of the EA Access games for 1 week, starting today. So go play those games. Those games are very good. The ones that they have in the vault are very good, but like I said, I'm not going to pay a subscription for it because I can't be bothered. And this is the point when everything sort of dulled down again. That's stuff like Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. It's kind of Forza again came out. They actually brought out an actual Ford GT. They craned in one. Needlessly showy. Then they showed off Dark Souls 3, or at least officially announced Dark Souls 3. I thought PlayStation was doing that, but I guess both of them are probably going to do that. They're both big franchises for both of them. It's big on the PC, so The Division had its annually I'm Not Dead waving. With The Division, there is a beta in December for exclusive to the Xbox One. So if you're in real dire desire to play The Division, then wait till December and you can get into the beta. Then there came the indie section, where the obligatory ID at Xbox, the independent developer at Xbox thing came round, and yeah, it was... Some of them seem very interesting, and some of them are exclusives, like Cuphead, but there's others like Beyond Eyes and Tacoma. Tacoma seems very good, but it seems like something that was... It's like a lot of games that are currently on Steam. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind playing that. I wouldn't mind playing pretty much all of the games that came out, or that showed itself during the ID section. Yeah, the ID section ended up being quite good. Although it was extremely brief, and it's basically just people wheeling themselves out, going, I am blah blah from blah blah, making blah blah, Xbox is okay. That was it. It's and even though they didn't really say Xbox is okay, I think it might just be Xbox is well, they're part of this ID at Xbox, and they get some of the press and stuff like that, and yeah, Superhot is a game that I really like, which keeps getting touted out with this thing, and so yeah, and I know Superhot is coming for the PC. Yeah, wouldn't mind getting that. I did some videos for that, and wouldn't mind getting that. And then they wheeled out the Xbox Preview Program. Basically, Xbox Early Access. Ooh. I'm sort of a fan of Steam Early Access. It's alright. It's kind of dodgy in places. It's quite bad in really some places. And it's sort of a system of you have QA people for a reason, so why don't you use them more? Yeah, but it's a free trial system where you can trial a game and then you can decide afterwards if you want to buy it or pay into it, or I don't know, it really is just Steam Early Access, but with a free trial period. They didn't mention a time of how long that free trial period lasts, so I think the entire thing depends on the length of the free trial. Then they wheeled out Dean Hall of DayZ to announce Ion. That's it. Then they went on to Rise of the Tomb Raider for a pre-rendered trailer, or something that looks... Even Cliffy B was saying this looked really pre-rendered. So, to that, Rise of the Tomb Raider stuff, goes, oh look, Rise of the Tomb Raider, blah, 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 Tomb Raiders. Then came one of the moments. They announced the Rare Replay Collection. 30 games for $30, so about 40 quid. Not as fluid off the tongue, is it, here in the British pounds? Because if they decide to have it as £30, it's like $20. So Rare Replay is just loads of the old Rare games, but together as a thing, and oh, it seems great. It's wow. And I told you at some point it wasn't just going to be, well, they did announce a new Rare game, but it was Son of Thieves. It looks like an MMO piratey thing. It's either an MMO piratey thing or a co-op piratey thing, because loads of people had names on top of their heads. So it's either going to be an MMO or a co-op thing, or a sort of mix of the two, like Dark Souls, where you can drop in, drop out of that sort of thing. Actually, like Starbound, drop in, drop out, sort of your own little universes. So that one seems good, and the Rare Replay seems freaking amazing. I told you that Conker was going to show up. Having a whole pre-rendered Conker last year was a bit too much of a heavy swing to saying, "Oh look, Conker." It takes way too much effort to just have that as a throwaway gag. Way too much effort. And they made a huge thing of the HoloLens, and they're teaming up with Valve VR, apparently. Although they said Valve VR and then said Oculus, so I'm assuming it's Valve VR as in the VR system, rather than the HTC rather than the Valve headset. Or if they're doing both, then I'm sort of amazed. That means, fuck me. Microsoft has thrown a lot of money at VR. The way that they showed off the HoloLens was to have a Minecraft demo of a specially designed Minecraft thing for the HoloLens, where you can track players and zoom in and zoom out using your head and stick your head into the build so you can see all the stuff on the inside and underneath, and oh, it looked amazing. But it was all presented in a closed-off section, in essentially a sort of a view screen set onto a flat, smooth, uncluttered table. I don't think real life is going to work that well with this. As soon as I saw it, I just went, this looks amazing. It's not going to work. The average person, they don't have... Jesus. The first thing I started thinking, because the first thing they showed off was you can play through a portal on a Minecraft portal on the wall and watch and play your Xbox thing with the controller. It's like, yeah, it's basically the same tech as the regular VR stuff, but a screen rather than like something jammed into your eyes. I really don't think, because like I said, the live demo, it looked damn impressive. But I really, really, really do not think it is going to work in real life as that good. It's... Oh, like I said, it's... The wall thing seems fine because it's just a Minecraft portal thing, and it's because it's projecting onto that thing. You can stare at anything, and you can just move your head around, and it's going to be screen, moving, head, VR thing. So, yeah, but the whole tabletop thing where you can play and interact with the world via a model on your table, I don't know how well that is going to work in normal lives, in normal situations. I really don't think. Part of me really doesn't think that will work. Building around it, I think, would be quite good. It's like one of the things they showed off when they first announced the VR thing was there was someone going click, 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 placing blocks with his finger. It was like, that would be alright. Wouldn't mind that. It was like, wear the HoloLens and build something on your desk. Because you have build on your desk, and it's like, oh yeah, it's put there, put it in just 3D space. But having sort of active models and I don't think, from what the demo had, I really don't think it's going to work normally. If it does, wow. But yeah, I'm slightly pessimistic about it. I really am, really am. I want it to work because it looks bloody amazing, but honestly, no. Yeah, and then it came slowly to the end of the conference. They basically announced a new Gears of War, Gears of War 4. Also at the same time, they said, oh look, you can have the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, another HD remake. Glaze cleanly over that. I don't care about remakes. It's not even a remake. It's a re-release. Just a HD re-release. Everyone makes a big deal of going, oh, look at 60 frames per second. It's going, well, it was fine when you first played it. Under 60, wasn't it? You fucking pillar. Then they made a whole big deal about, well, having Spencer come out and say, all of these games, you have Halo and Tomb Raider and Rare and all these games. He started listing off loads of games. And they're going, all of these are exclusive to Xbox. The one thing they really wanted to push this time was, look at all of this exclusive stuff for the Xbox. All of the exclusive stuff was stuff made by Xbox. All of the stuff is like Halo. It's owned by Microsoft. Rareware. It's owned by Microsoft. They're making a huge deal about this stuff being exclusive. It's like, yeah, it's because you fucking own them. You literally own the company that makes them. Of course they're exclusive. We already knew they were exclusive. So having Xbox saying, oh, look, all this stuff is like, with the big list, Spencer said right at the very end, only one wasn't exclusive. And even then, it's a timed exclusive, because it's Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider comes out on Xbox first, then what, a month, 2 months later, it comes on everything else. PC and PlayStation. It just Xbox gets it slightly earlier. People who are that determined will just go, sod it, I'll wait till it comes out on Steam. It's not an exclusive if the consumer just goes, fuck it, I'll just wait. That's not an exclusive! Yeah, and then touting all of the companies you own as, oh, look at all this stuff, it's exclusive. It's like they try to tout Halo. It's going, oh, look at this fantastic exclusive. It's like, yeah, it's the same as Sony started going, oh, yes, look at Naughty Dog and all their exclusives. It's going, yeah, Sony owns Naughty Dog. It's yeah, I think that's the one thing that got very frustrating. It's just, yes, you can stop saying exclusive now. We already know you own these companies. Yeah. They didn't talk about Windows 10 that much, although they kept on mentioning it. It comes out in July. So, yeah. And then Spencer finished off as saying, oh, look at all these other exclusive games like Scalebound and all of these other games. You will get to see them at Gamescom. I just went, because I almost got tickets for Gamescom. Because I was going to be in Germany around that period. Turns out I'm not. So they were saying, look at all of these things, and you can see them all at Gamescom in Germany, and let us forcibly, by sheer brute force and will, keep this PR train moving. Fucking why? Why? Yes, we know you want to keep wheeling out your world premiere title as much as you damn well like. But after a while, even we as press get bored. Jesus. You are really, really trying too hard, Xbox, to stamp world premiere and exclusive on everything. Some of the stuff, if you want them to be exclusive, then fine. Whenever road premiere, then fine. Just don't drag this PR shit on for the rest of the year. Gamescom is like 3 months? So fucking GDC and all the other... Oh. It's gonna fucking... Oh. And the thing that always annoys me the most is stuff like MCN barely gets a shoe-in. I guess I have to try and get to EGX. Probably the only way I'll be able to get to see any of this bloody stuff. Apparently, with the way everything's going, really have to try and get anywhere. Christ. Turns out all this stuff, trying to keep up with this fucking press train. Turns out